welcome to Let's Simmer Down With, a show where I interview awesome people from the Sims community, and today we have a very, very special guest on the show. You might know her as Ms. Whitney, but she goes by the handle BlackEssence on YouTube, so welcome.
Hi everybody. This is going to surprise everybody.
Yeah, if they didn't have their coffee, I forgot the word. If they didn't have their coffee.
Latte.
Yeah, whatever. their dose of coffee. There we go.
Iced coffee.
Yeah. Your voice is gonna fix that for them.
I hope, right? I hope so. And it's lunchtime for me too, so hopefully they can get their lunch on while they're listening.
Well, thanks a lot for taking the time to sit down and answer some questions for me and the listeners out there.
I'm so glad I'm able to do it. It's been, like I said, we've had so much going on the past 2 months within the Sims community. It's hard to sit down and just eat.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So tell me a little bit about you. Who is BlackEssence, aka Ms. Whitney?
Well, it all started back in 1987. No, that's a long time ago. But what happened was BlackEssence really started in 1989, I will say, when I was 2 years old, when my brother introduced me into the world of gaming.
Wow, at 2. Nice.
Yeah, a long time ago. So ever since then, gaming is part of my blood, literally. It's something that we've passed down to our younger sister, and now passed down to my 3-year-old niece, who she picked up on her own. She's a gamer now. So BlackEssence really didn't get a name until about 10 years ago. It just came to me out of nowhere. I was just kind of, what was I doing? I think I was playing GTA San Andreas, and I wanted to have a screen name once the gaming communities really started to get loud online on the internet. And I came up with BlackEssence, and I was like, that is perfect. I'm black, obviously, but the essence of what I do and love in gaming it shows forth. So let me just put 2 and 2 together, and that's what you got. But I'm more of a type of gamer that I like to call a true lady gamer, or a lady gamer, which is a new term now that I'm starting to see kind of go everywhere now. I'm starting to see it on all the blogs and YouTube.
Yeah.
And everybody's using that term now. And what a lady gamer is a person who plays fair and square, who plays with class, who knows how to act when she's playing online with other people. She's not a troll. She's not a other names you would call it within the gaming community who attack you.
Yeah.
But she is a different kind of gamer. She doesn't have to show her body in a sexual way to try to get attention. She doesn't have to get attention. Her skills is what's going to cause the attention from other people.
Yeah, she doesn't post selfies of herself eating a Xbox controller or whatever.
No, licking the controller.
Yeah.
No, not pulling a Jessica here. No, we're not doing that. She doesn't have to do that. Her skills and how she carries herself like a lady who games is unlike any other. So, I explained that about 2 years ago on YouTube. No, not 3 years ago, of what that is. And so I'm glad to see that other gamers being more open about their love for gaming, especially for young African Americans. I'm really that voice for young black girls around the world who email me constantly telling me that they can't be open about gaming because people
really?
think they say, well, my family and friends don't understand me. They think I'm immature and they think it's childish, and so I keep it to myself. And I'm like, don't you dare keep it to yourself.
This is who you are.
That's who you are. Be proud of that. If I kept it to myself, EA, Ubisoft, and all of them wouldn't know who I was. But because I'm trying to give back to the community with my arcade I'm trying to develop, that is my love for gaming, and I thank God for giving me this passion to put that out there to influence other girls, not just black girls, but for other girls, other boys, to be open about their love for gaming. It helps with education. It helps with people who want to do graphic design and computer programming and game design and animation, all that. I'm here to educate.
Nice.
Those on that stuff and to be open about what they love to do and make a career out of it, because Lord knows what I'm doing as a career.
Definitely. And, well, speaking of your career, The Sims kind of is about your career, too. So
basically,
how'd you get into The Sims?
Oh, my brother did not want me to. I'm gonna bring him up because he got on me yesterday. He was like, you don't never give me credit for these games. I said, yes, I do. But my brother was the one that was playing The Sims 1 back in January 2000. And I walked in on him playing it. And I said, bro, what is that? Because I was about 12 or 13 at the time. I was like, what was that, bro? And he's like, sis, it's not that kind of game. It's kind of hard. He was just really trying to turn me off of it because he knew I wanted to play. And he was like, it's just not that kind of game. It's you have to think and da 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 da. So I said, oh, okay. So I kind of left and went in my own room, but I kept thinking about it for some odd reason. I just kept thinking about that game because I think the male that I saw on The Sims 1 with the handsomest male out of all of them was playing as. And the next day after school, after I had watched my Family Matters and Sailor Moon and Batman Beyond, I snuck into his room. He was working at Walmart at the time, so he was at work. So I snuck in there and I started up The Sims 1, and that was the best decision I have ever made. Ever since then, The Sims has blessed me in so many different ways, and it has helped mold me to be the kind of woman I am today when it comes to storytelling and using my imagination, which a lot of our today's generation does not do.
That's very true. Yeah.
You know, and so The Sims. I have a lot of favorite games that have changed my life, but The Sims is more like that foundation for me. They help me be Whitney.
That's
so true. I try to use that. I say, y'all play The Sims. If you're a shy person, The Sims will help you not be a shy person. If you're a person who's an introvert, it'll help you be an extrovert. You know, it helps you be who you are. So I try to use The Sims as also an educational type of tool for those who watch my series on YouTube.
Wow, that's really interesting. That's pretty cool. So you use it kind of like as a tool too.
The way I say I use it to minister, because I hear a lot of people. I've gotten people who send me messages that, well, I'm bedridden, I'm sick, you know, I can't leave the house, but I watch your videos because they make me happy, they make me smile, and that's what I do through my videos, to minister laughter, to minister, you know, anything that can help you take you out of whatever you're going through in real life. We have to go through trials and tribulations, but if I can help you forget that for a while, then when you have to go and face those trials, you be that much stronger, because now you rejuvenated yourself. So if my videos can do that, hey, amen to it.
Yeah, for real. It's really nice that people actually tell you that your videos make them feel better, you know?
It makes me want to record. That's why I do it. I don't do it for the subscribership or the views. That's the last thing on my mind. I do it because I just love The Sims, and I love gaming so much. And so when I have something that I enjoy and it brings me joy in a positive way, I got that innate nature to just share that joy with everybody else.
And, well, speaking about your Sims videos, you have a bunch of videos on your channel, and there's one particular one called Ms. Whitney's Class. So tell me a little bit about Miss Whitney's Class. What's your inspiration? Where'd you get the idea for this series?
It rolls off the tongue. Ms. Whitney's Class is something that I wanted to do with my True Lady Gamers network that I started with, influencing other girls to be open about gaming, but that teaches you a touch of class, about how to let that classy lady come out, to carry yourself like a classy woman. And so I was like, you know what, I think I'm going to do that with The Sims, and have people donate their girls that they want to be taught by Whitney, since living the married life and living single and all that are such big hits on my channel. Everybody has grown to love Whitney, and Whitney, my sim, is a 100% depiction of me. So when I'm talking to Whitney, interacting with her, it's like I'm interacting with myself. so I'm yelling at myself. I'm telling myself what to do. You know, and I thought, you know, this will be a fun little thing to do. It's original. It's unique. I don't think anybody else has ever done it. And I'm all about being original. And so I decided to do that. And some people donated, you know, some girls to be taught by Whitney. And it just went from there. I didn't think anybody would really like it, because some people think it's a challenge, and I don't like challenges that much. But I guess you can kind of call it that a little bit. But it's really, you know, to teach the girls all the things that I see young girls in real life who don't have a chance to have, or they were taught, they just didn't care, to be a young lady and let that young lady out. And that is what Miss Whitney's Class is really trying to do. You got a house full of young girls. They have different personalities. I didn't change their personalities from what was sent to me. Some are mean-spirited, some are this, that, and the fourth. But I'm like, okay, you may be mean-spirited, but you're gonna act like a lady when you're mean-spirited. You're gonna have some sort of touch of class with it. And it's a challenge for me, because everybody knows I have a hard time dealing with a whole bunch of Sims in a house anyway. So I'm dealing with 5 girls in a house, and it's just so fun to me. It's something that I want to do with my network, and so doing it through The Sims is like I'm able to do it. So when I do it in real life, and the time is going to come, it's preparing me for that, business wise.
That's really cool that The Sims kind of teaches you new skills too at the same time.
It does.
And of course, there's a lot of videos on your channel and a lot of Sims you created and were donated. But out of all of your Sims, which one have you always preferred playing with and why?
Me.
Me as Whitney.
Whitney.
I can't even say it. Why? I don't know. Maybe I had too much coffee. I don't know.
Miss Whitney.
Miss Whitney.
It's Wit. Wit. Out of all the Sims games that I've made Wit in, Whitney in The Sims 3 is my most favorite. Of course, that's going to change when The Sims 4 comes out. But
most likely.
Right now, Whitney is me, because I feel like for any game that I play, if I'm able to make myself in the game, it builds that relationship that I have with whatever story this game is trying to tell me.
Because you can mostly relate to
Right.
that character, yeah.
Exactly. It's like I'm going through this story. So if it's like Skyrim, for example, me going through this time of trying to save the land of Skyrim and all that, and being Dragonborn and all that stuff like that, it's like, oh man, this is me. It's like a reinvention of me, and it makes me use my imagination. Anything that makes me use my imagination, I'm all for it, because I can come up with anything and be anything I want it to be, just like the Reading Rainbow song. Be anything you want to be. And that's what I try to teach through, especially through The Sims. Be what you want to be.
That The Sims seem to have a deeper meaning than being just a game to you.
It does. It does. It has helped me through a lot of trials. It gives me I try to tell people this, it gives me a bird's eye view of what God looks at us when we don't do what we're supposed to do.
That's true.
You know, when we got the blessings right in front of us, but we don't appreciate it. When we're through trials and tribulations, but instead of coming to him with that and letting him fix that for us, we try to do it ourselves, and we get ourselves in more trouble. So, you know, it gives me a bird's eye view of like how many facepalm God has to do on a daily basis when we don't do what we're supposed to. You know, and he's a God of laughter, and people think God is so serious, but he's a God of laughter. So in my series, I'm sort of trying to I'm paying homage to my Lord and Savior by making sure that people laugh when they watch me go through these stupid situations.
It's working.
In this game.
Definitely is working.
it's like look, this is what God goes through, y'all. Check this out. Whitney's trying to do this glass blowing thing, and she almost gets burned in the face, and I'm like, it's just I love The Sims. It will always have a place in my heart for making me who I am today. It's the only game that will make me cry, obviously. I think y'all have seen that. And if I had to recommend any game, the first would be The Sims.
Nice.
Outside of anything else.
That's really cool. And of course, you mentioned the comedy being present in most of your videos, and it really shows. And you don't have just The Sims on your channel. And my next question to you was, what's your own personal favorite series of yours? Is it about The Sims or another game on your channel?
My most favorite series that I've done would probably have to be Living the Married Life.
Oh, yeah.
Because me and Elliot, what I love is that everybody has grown to love them like a real family. Because I treat my Sims like they're real people.
Right.
The people who watch have grown to love them like real people. And that whole situation where Ani died in episode 18, people were crying,
Devastated.
literally. Yeah, I was devastated because I've grown to love them, and people don't understand that. People think that's a little weird, but you know what? I'm like a person. I don't care how you think, unless you play the game and make Sims and watch them grow as your own and love them, you will never understand. So don't even worry about it. But people, they have reached out to me. Some still reach out to me today, to this day, of saying, I just saw that and I'm so crying, and I'm like, you know, but they've grown to love this family because I love them, and that makes me very happy that my series has impacted people so much on a level that they can laugh and watch us go through family things. And a lot of people fuss at me today for not bringing Ani back, but that was the whole thing. The family has to go through a tragedy, and let's see what it's like in real life. So we had the funeral service where they cried, and
Oh.
and I uploaded pictures at that time where Elliot, my husband, my digital husband, was crying, and I was consoling him. And
Oh.
The Sims also helped me during a time where my grandmother passed in real life, back here in April.
Mm.
And I actually uploaded a picture, I think that day after or later on that day, of Elliot hugging me. And I don't know how Wit did this in this game. I don't know if they make this face by default or what, but for some reason she had this subtle face, like she was upset, but it's gonna be all right kind of look on her face.
Oh
I
man.
didn't program her to do that. She just did that when Elliot hugged her, and I uploaded that picture and I said, "That's okay. Elliot's taking good care of me."
Man, that's so sad. Now you're gonna make me cry on your show, on my own show.
I mean, I'm obviously I'm fine now
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I still feel my grandmother's presence, but
Mhm.
that's The Sims is what I'm talking about that helps me through what I go through in real life.
Yeah.
And I was playing it during that time, and I'm telling you,
Well, I'm glad that The Sims there for you too
yeah.
to help you out. Before I start crying, I'm gonna ask you another question. Do you have more plans for your YouTube channel? Do you have more series or legacy challenges, or are you kind of waiting for The Sims 4 to come out?
I'm actually kind of waiting for The Sims 4 to come out. I did start a new series called Rise of Nations, The Rise of the Black Queen,
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
which I need to record today.
Yeah.
But I got that going. I'm trying to finish up My Sims, and I'm trying to finish up High School Dreams. So really, I'm trying to get those finished up by the time The Sims 4 comes out. So that way we'll have nothing to focus on for right now anyway,
Right.
but Sims 4, because that's just going to be the highlight of everything.
Yeah, because it's coming September 2nd.
Yeah, and I don't have a lot of time. We only got 2 months to go, and that's going to go by so fast. It's already the middle of June, it seemed like.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and what does your... Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I was saying, it's gonna be something. I think it's gonna be something, but it's just to pass our time and get us ready for The Sims 4.
Yeah, and you were talking about recording. What does your recording schedule look like?
I'm trying to get back on that schedule. I'm trying to balance to do this arcade thing. With the arcade thing, you're trying to apply for funding and get that government funding in, and it's just But for right now, I like to do it every day of the week if I can. I'll try to do it. Mondays is usually a day where I kind of take off to try to think and figure out what I want to do. And then it starts on Tuesday when I start recording, which is today. So right now I'm just trying to give everybody what they need and be a little bit more active, because I know I'm going to be too active when it comes with The Sims 4 coming. So it's keeping me together. It's definitely keeping me together, but it's more of an everyday thing right now.
Yeah.
Weekends I don't record. If I can help it, I don't record.
That's your time off.
Right. That's my time off, my little vacation time.
Yeah.
And then of course I try to break up the channel so that people won't get tired of The Sims with Rise of the Nations and High School Dreams. So those are my little breakup series, and keep things interesting for folks. But other than that, that's just how it is about every day.
Nice. And what's your favorite Sims game and expansion? Doesn't have to be an expansion that's related to the same Sims game, like Sims 2 or anything. Can be anything.
Oh, man. Classically, it would have to be The Sims Busting Out for Xbox.
What?
I had an Xbox. Boy, The Sims Busting Out was like The Sims 3 at the time, but people won't admit that. And it was, busting out. And I think Castaway too. Sims Castaway.
Oh my gosh, that's very old, man. That brings back memories.
It's classic though. It was classic.
Yeah, it's true.
It's my favorite expansion pack. I have so many. I think the hot date for The Sims 1 was my favorite.
For The Sims 1?
For The Sims 1, hot date.
Holy cow,
was
you're going back in time.
Yeah, hot date. I went on my first date and I had the worst date ever, but it brought back so many memories. For The Sims 2, I would have to say probably University.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, University was great.
Yeah.
The Sims 3, I didn't buy all the expansion packs. I just bought the ones that appealed to me, and of course with the help of friends I was able to download some.
Yeah.
I think out of them, I think I liked Generations, I want to say. I love the idea of being able to have slumber parties and wedding parties, and
yeah,
I love that. I love that. So it must be Generations out of The Sims 3.
Nice. I really hope that they're bringing it into The Sims 4 as not an expansion, but kind of already in there.
Yeah,
Some of the options that you've got in the generation.
I love that. The slumber party thing,
Yeah.
and the wedding party, it seems like it should have already been there.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that. That little stuff, what's already part of life, you know?
Yeah.
I don't mind us getting other stuff building up into next expansion packs. I don't mind that, but give me sort of the basics, like the graduation party or just to be able to throw a party in general.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And speaking of The Sims 4, what are your thoughts about it? Are you excited?
I am too excited. If people are not following on Twitter, which is Twitter/BlackEssence, you already know I done lost my mind too many times on The Sims 4. I'm not expecting anything. And what I mean by is I want that sense of discovery. A lot of people I keep saying, well, I want to see this and they need to see, show me more. And I'm thinking, don't show me everything. That's just how I am. Don't show me everything. I need to have that sense of discovery. And I think people are forgetting that's what The Sims was in the first place. Yeah. That sense of discovery, what they can do.
Yeah, let me be impressed when I get the game.
Thank you. And how they think and how they interact with each other. Everybody wants to see everything now. I want to see more, gameplay of how they interact. Well, we got that yesterday.
Yeah.
I want to see their emotions. Well, we got that last year. Yeah. Okay. And all the stuff that people are wanting to see, you're gonna spoil yourself. That's just my personal opinion. I know people won't agree, but it's I'm just saying, you're gonna spoil yourself. When the game comes out, you'll be like, I don't want to have no moments where I say, oh, I remember that. Oh, I saw that.
Yeah. Exactly. You're gonna be bored if you see everything in advance.
Exactly. And I don't know why people don't understand that. I understand what they're saying, where they want to make sure that what they're paying for is worth the $59 or $79. Mm-hmm. I get that aspect. Lord knows it's true. But when you've been given, what they're doing right now is trying to give you wanting more, leave you wanting more. And I understand where they're coming from, the Sims team, because if they give you everything, which is what they did with the Sims 3, you're not going to be looking forward for nothing.
Right.
The Sims 3, they gave us too much information, and then people were complaining like, oh my gosh, leave us some for the game. Now they're not giving you enough, and now you're complaining because they don't give you enough.
Yeah. No one's ever going to be fully satisfied, so you can't please everyone.
No, and I'm glad they're not trying to do that this time around.
Yeah, that's true. Plus, it's like we're June, so that means
July,
August.
Yeah, about 2.5 months.
Yeah. So it still leaves them a little bit of time to, release more screenshots and gameplays and stuff. But I'm like you on that. I hope that they don't. Mm-hmm. So that when I do get the game, I'm impressed,
Impressed, exactly. Let me just discover. I'm yearning for that right now for The Sims. To just give me that sense of discovery so I can go, which is what is one of the part of the key elements in my Let's Plays. It's not planned, but it just happens. My natural reaction to things. Mm-hmm. So when I get it and I'm uploading episodes, I want you to go, just like I am in the videos.
Yeah,
it's got to be genuine. It's got to be natural. So let me have that. So I'm avoiding all the gameplay videos. I'm avoiding all of that. I think some people are doing videos, in-depth videos from each information that we're getting. So they're doing in-depth, like, did you see this in this corner of the screen and that kind of stuff?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't need that. Keep that to yourself. Because I feel like you're spoiling something for me.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to see it.
I totally agree with you. And we're talking about the Sims community and their thoughts and stuff. And what would you like to see more of or less of in the Sims community?
I would love to see more maturity.
Yeah.
More maturity, more confidence in what we're about to get. More rationality in the sense of, if you see something that you don't like, that clearly that everybody as a whole really doesn't like, then be vocal about it in the most mature way possible. Try to understand both sides. You can not like it at the end of the day, but try to understand, okay, well, I understand why you did it. I don't like it. I want you to change it, but I understand why you went that route. Like, for instance, the whole district thing in The Sims 4, the world's being in districts. And I said this. I said, I don't understand what you're complaining about when we've had this type of format before. Mm-hmm. The Sims 1 had quote unquote districts. The Sims 2 had that. The Sims 3, you might as well say, has that with all the different worlds we got.
That's very true.
So, so the open world thing, I'm sure that each district is an open world, because you won't know that until you get the game.
That's very true. Yeah.
But they already got their minds closed to, well, there's districts, and that means it's not an open world. Well, you hadn't even got the game yet.
You don't even know.
You don't even know. So that whole complaining thing, I'm almost feel bad for the Sims team because they're trying to give you a little bit of what you need, but not too much, and they have to make sacrifices because if you get everything, not everybody's gonna be able to play the game.
Yeah.
Or run it.
Mm-hmm.
So how fair is that? It's unfair.
Mm-hmm.
So with the Sims 3, not everybody was able to run it. So that was unfair. People were giving their games back. Now you got a game where people can run it, and now you're still not satisfied.
Yeah, exactly.
So I feel sorry for them because they have to put up with that. They have to get emails and tweets from people who are just
imagine
selfish or ungrateful.
Yeah. That's too bad. And I get that they want to excuse me, they want to please everyone at once, but no one can ever do that.
No. And I'm glad they're standing their ground with that. They say, we're going to give you a teaser here, but we're not going to show you everything.
Yeah.
I love that.
So I have one last question for you.
Okay.
So for everyone who's listening, I'm sure that there's some people here who would love to start their own videos or channels and who are probably inspired by you too. What tips or advice would you give them if they do want to start their own Sims videos?
The very first tip that comes to my mind is that if you're planning to do your very own Let's Play for any game, do not try to aspire to be like somebody else. I get messages all the time. I want to do my own Let's Plays, Whitney, and you inspire me. And I love when I hear people say you inspire me. And I'm glad that I did. But don't use that as a jumping off point. In a sense, what I'm saying is, don't say, well, I'm gonna try to be just like you, and I'm gonna try to do these Let's Plays just like you. Don't. Your success within the Sims community is already there. You're a simmer, you love the game, and you're very open about it. That's your foundation right there. When you do your Let's Plays, do it because you love the Sims, but not because you're trying to be like somebody else or aspire to be like somebody else. I appreciate the compliment, but at the same time, I don't want you to try to be like Whitney.
Yeah. They won't be like themselves.
No, I want you to be like yourself. What draws me to other Let's Plays is that people are different and they're trying to do different things. Your quality doesn't have to be the best. Your mic doesn't have to be the best. But if I can feel your passion through that microphone and through what you're trying to do, that's all it takes for me to watch you, to keep an eye on you. Do things that are original if you can. I know it's very hard to do it with the Sims 3 this time around because everybody's doing challenges and
yeah,
legacies and stuff like that. So it's kind of hard. But if you're going to do something like that, do it. Try to be original as possible. Try to get inspiration from things off the PC.
Right.
That's how I've come up with Miss Whitney's class. That's how I came up with living single and living the married life. Cool. Is that stuff comes to my attention, to my inspiration off the PC in books and movies and music. And so try to be as original as you can. Don't worry about subscribers. And I'm starting to see a little double standardness in that. I see a lot of people that I follow on Twitter say, oh, don't worry about subscribers. I don't care. But every week is, oh, I got 700. Oh, I got 1,000. Oh, every day. Thank you guys so much. So if you're not worried about subscribership and how many you get on a daily basis and all that stuff, that shouldn't be coming out of your mouth. When it starts coming out of your mouth on a weekly basis, that means that in some part of you care about that. Don't care about subscribership and viewership. Even if you get 12 views on every video that you do, entertain that 12 people who watch.
Yep.
That's 12 people who are dedicated to watching your videos. Entertain them. Do the very best you can with your Let's Plays for them. And those will multiply. And a lot of people don't seem to understand that. I think they say, well, you got a lot of subscribers, you got, 7,000. I don't care. Well, I shouldn't say I don't care about them, but I don't care about the number that I have. I never look at my subscriber number. I don't care about that because what I'm doing is focused on trying to bring enjoyment to people. That's what I feed off of. I'm like an algae eater. I feed off of the enjoyment and the laughter that you get out of my videos. That's what I feed off of. I love getting feedback from people saying, oh, that was so funny. When she burned her face, that about killed me. I was like, that about killed me too. So it's people's reactions that I feed off of. The numbers and the view counts, whatever.
And it really shows in your videos too that, you like to make people laugh.
It comes natural. I think it's a southern thing. I don't know. It's North Carolina. I think it's a southern thing, but it comes naturally. I come from a funny group of family anyway. So it just comes out, and I'm all about showing my personality. Some people can take it, some people can't take it. If you can't take it, then there's somebody else who can give you what you want when you want it. But when you're watching Whitney's videos, your job is to sit there and enjoy. That's your job, to sit there and laugh and have a good time. And sometimes I don't even ask for a lot of help. I think a lot of people notice that too. I don't ask for a lot of help and insight, because I feel like that's another tip. Don't give your power to those who are watching you. Don't say, well, guys, what Let's Play you want to see? Well, guys, I'm having ideas, so you vote. No, this is your channel. These are your Sims. You control what is being viewed on your channel. If you give them too much power, then they're going to be upset with you with whatever you do. If you don't do it, they'll start telling you how. I have people tell me all the time, Whit, you should let the girls get married. Whit, you should let the girls have a party. I think one person got mad at me for the way I was raising Zara and Ani. What? If I had children in real life, my girls be raised with class. And one person said, you need to let them do something bad, like stay out late or something stupid like that. And I was like, my girls are going to be raised the way I want them to be raised. They're going to be raised with some sense. If they have their little moments where they, when they go through their, what is it the Sims go through in their teens? They have bad mood swings. When they went through that, they didn't do anything that they want to do. I let them be upset, but they were not going to cut class. They were not going to miss the bus. They were not going to do that. They were not. So, I stay strict to that. So I don't mind people saying things like, well, wouldn't it be great if you did this? But when you start off with, you should do this and do that, I'm not going to do anything. I will completely ignore you. Because I know what is going to entertain you. I know what I'm going to do that's going to be satisfying to you.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm really glad that you're keeping that. I keep to lose my words today. It's incredible. But I'm really glad that you're staying true to yourself. So, because that's really you that we see through the videos, and they're so entertaining and so funny. So I'm really glad that you stomp your foot on the ground and do whatever you want to do.
Right. I mean, I'm open to suggestions. Some people gave me some suggestions. I was like, okay, I might try that. But at the end of the day, if you're still satisfied by the end of that video, that's all that matters to me. Because that's what I'm giving you. I'm giving you what's going to satisfy you. Like how God does it. He doesn't give you what you want. He gives you what you need. And so that's what I try to do in my videos. And I'm glad people are picking up on that.
Yeah, definitely. So if there's anyone that would want to contact you, what's the best way to do that?
You can always contact me through YouTube, even though they made it a maze to try to get to your messages, but that's a whole other story. You can get me on Twitter, which is, twitter.com/BlackEssence. I'm on Facebook, so just look up BlackEssence. You should see my big old face on there with the glasses on. That's me. And those are the best places to get me faster, especially on Twitter. Twitter, you can get me like that. So, because I'm always active on there. And if people need any kind of advice or whatnot as to how to get started, please let me know, because I will tell you the story.
Nice. That's very nice of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that you'd like to say before we end this interview?
Other than donate to my arcade, but I mean,
where's that?
I'm not vain. If you got $1, 50 cents, I am not vain. Just any little bit helps. But you can find that link on the bottom of all my videos in the description there. So if you want to donate, please do. I'd appreciate it. I'm trying to bring this stream to life, because it will be a Sim Center. It will be a place for the Sims and all that stuff like that. So, hey, for North Carolina, we're trying to put North Carolina on the map and trying to make that next big city for the Sims.
I'll put the link in the description on the video too, so that's gonna make them that's gonna be easy for them to see and to click on, and as well as your YouTube channel and Twitter and all that. So guys, if you really enjoyed this interview, and if you are already a fan of BlackEssence or not, go to her channel right now, because she's a very funny and amazing person to be around. So thank you very much for sitting down here and answering all these questions and talking about everything.
I'm so glad I get talkative, so forgive me.
Don't ever apologize for that, because you're so entertaining. So I had a blast.
Well, I'm so glad, and that is what makes me feel good, that you had a good time.
Well, yeah, definitely. I was expecting to have a good time anyway, so.
I'm so glad.
So thanks
But
again.
thank you so much. I feel honored. Thank you.
You're welcome. And to anyone out there, to the listeners, if there's a special simmer that you'd like to hear on the show here, post it on the comments below, and I'll try to get in contact with them to have them on the show in the future. So thanks again, and I'm sure we'll catch you around the community.
Oh yeah, you always see me around. I pop up everywhere.
That's great to know. Thank you. See you next time. What? What the fridge?